Are you guys having trouble with stairs? Well, if you are, let me help. Come on. One note that you need to know before you start figuring out your stairs, you need to know that by code, your rise on your stair, or what you pick your foot up, the rise cannot be any more than 7 3/4. So, the very first step that you need to do in finding your math for your stairs is find your total rise. So that's the measurement from where your stairs are going to end to where your stairs are going to start. In this case, my stairs are going to be coming from here to up here on this deck up here. And anytime that you're doing stairs, if you're putting stairs up to a deck, this up here is considered your last step. So you don't want your stringer to come straight out and then start like this. You want this to be your last step. So your stringer would actually land here somewhere, and then your last step would be up here onto the deck. So my total rise for these stairs would be from here to up here. So let's get this level and then measure that. So right here in this case, our total rise is 35 5/8. So I always like to start at 7 inches. So let's do 35 5/8 divided by 7. So 5/8, if you look it up in a decimal, is 0.625. So 5/8 or 35.625 divided by 7. That comes to 5.089. Well, you can't have 5.0829 steps. So let's divide that by 7 1/4. Let's just play around with 7 for a minute to see how close we can get it to an even number. So divided by 7.25, 7 1/4, that's 4.9. So let's do 7 1/8, which would be 0.125 in a decimal. 7.125. That's 5 exactly. So our math came out to 5 steps exactly. 7 1/8. All right, so that means our stringer's gonna have 4 stairs, and our 5th stair will be here. So our rise is 7 1/8. On my run, I always like to use 10 1/2 because 2 deck boards put together is 11 inches. I think a 1/2 inch of overhang looks really good on the stairs. I want to show you how that you would actually mark that out on a stringer. So let's take your framing square. You've got measurements all the way up here to 16 inches and 24 inches on this side. So I'm gonna go to 7 1/8 which is right here. So I would put 7 1/8 here, and then on this side, since my run is 10 1/2, I'm gonna put that right on 10 1/2 right here. Each time, I'm just gonna go down the board, continuing this. So up here at the top, guys, I want to show you how to mark this so you can cut it. So this is your 7 1/8 and 10 1/2. This is the top of your stringer right here. So what you want to do is you want to continue this line on up right here. That's the line that you would cut. This would be your void right here. You don't need that. So this would be the start of your stringer. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. So this, you just mark this last one to be able to get the bottom cut of your stringer. So let's continue this line on out this way. So, see, this would be your void side. This is your stringer here. See, I've already got my template made, so I just wanted to show you guys how to mark that out. See, once you mark it out and you cut one, you can use one to mark them, trace it, and mark them all out. That way, they're all the same. See, you guys can see that that's almost exactly what my template is. So I'll use this one to mark out all the rest of my stair stringers. And then I'll put this one in last. The reason why I'm going to do that is to make sure that they're all the same. You know, you can mess them up a little bit by being off just barely on a mark, or sometimes if you cut one, it can get off a little bit. So if you trace it and install it each time, then you could get off. That's why I go ahead and cut one and label it my temp piece. And then I use this one for all the rest of my stringers. So one more note that I want to tell you guys about stairs is, if what you're going up to or your last step is finished, say you have a decking boards up there already or decking boards down here already, then you would have to take the thickness of this off right here off the bottom of your stringer for your deck boards. And the reasoning behind that's because if your finished floor is 1 inch thick, which would be what a regular deck board is, if you're setting it on 1 inch and then you add 1 inch to this, it's going to make your bottom step 1 inch higher, and then it'll make your top step 1 inch shorter. So just keep that in mind, guys, and don't forget that you need to take 1 inch off the bottom of your stringer. In this case, I don't have to, because I don't have any decking down here on this platform yet, and I don't have any decking up there yet. I'm going to be adding 1 inch to everything. So I'll add 1 inch to butt up to here on this level down here, and I'll add 1 inch to all these, and then I'll add 1 inch to the top, you know, my finished deck on the top. So each step's going to have 1 inch added to that. All right, thanks guys. Hope that helps somebody.